Let's look at the next song. Let's look at North Macedonia. This year being represented by Vasil. The song Here I Stand. Sandwiched between Australia and Ireland. It's 6th in semi-final one. 26 in the betting odds. You can get 100 to 1 on this. Now, poor North Macedonia have only qualified twice for the final since 2008. It is not the world's greatest record, but they've also this year managed to find themselves in what we like to term the semi-final of death. And Phil and Michelle, can they escape it?
I don't know. I like this song. I really do. It's not normally my sort of thing, but you know, the guy sings it well, and it is a nice song. The only thing I think that is the problem with it is it's very musical theatre, which you know is not bad really, but I think that might put some people off. But I like it.
Mark the date in your calendar because I also like it. I think it's a lovely song. It's so emotional. I really like the emotion in it, and I think the way he sings it, it is musical theatre, but he means it, and you can tell that he means it. And I think anyone that's ever watched The Greatest Showman and likes that will love this. So, you know, and the youth love The Greatest Showman, so I think it could get a few votes. I think this might be a surprise.
Okay, so we're thinking there could be a surprise. Now, I know we have someone who is a lover of all things musical theatre. Terry, North Macedonia. What are your thoughts?
Well, yeah. So, of course, I'm biased because I am myself a singer in musical theatre. However, this song for me is by far and away the best song in this year's competition by an absolute mile. In fact, I would go as far as to say it's in my top 3 since the turn of the millennium. Rise Like a Phoenix, Salvador, and Vasil, top 3 since 2000. I'm going to go as far as to say that. I think it's the winner of the Eurovision Song Contest, and I don't care what anyone says, and I know I'm biased. When I first heard this, I thought, oh, okay. Before I heard it, I thought, oh, Vasil last year also ran. I couldn't really care less about last year's song from him, which makes me prove that it is the Eurovision Song Contest. The title of the show is the Song Contest. If you listen to this song, there's so many times in this song that I'm just beside myself. Firstly, when he sings the word trust, it's right deep down in his throat. Then when he sings Walls Are Down, that single deep drum beat that happens is just music to my ears. Unchaining Wings, that long note with the underscoring of the deet, 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 it's just magic. With the sound of my ears into the ooh. Now, when he sings that ooh, he raises his cheekbones, and it's just like, it's the most perfect, pure placing of a note. It's just incredible, his vocal talents. Then you get the surprise chorus entry midway, which is like, oh, hello, a bit of gospel going on, welcome. No, I mean, by then, tears are dripping. I'm dripping with tears by then. Then the gospel takes over, while Vasil has a little bit of a personal breakdown, which hopefully he will do on the night. I'm looking forward to that personal breakdown. There are times when I remember back and all I do is smile. Now, that smile is just incredible, because so many people, well, we've all probably lost a dear friend or a loved one in our lives. And then after some time, you get over it, or you don't get over it, but you learn to live with it. And then you smile because you think happy thoughts about times gone by. Brilliant. And the vibrato at the end, it's just absolutely magic. And then when I thought it was going to end on a downbeat and a pin drop of nothingness, then that U comes in at the end, and he opens the vowel of the U. And then, to top it all, the back bend at the end. You could do a back bend like that. Vasil, he's the winner. Thank you very much. Good morning.
Do you know what? I don't think I just need to. That was just an absolutely. I don't think I've ever heard anyone speak that enthusiastically about Here I Stand at all. Now, and I hate to break this one to you, Terry, because I'm going to go to Ian now. Now, we were both at the Boom Bang a Bang event on Zoom last night, where Vasil did claim a significant spot in the final rankings, and it was last. Ian.
No.
Is it destined for last place, or do you think the people voting last night just wanted some upbeat bangers in their life?
I'm not sure. I mean, I'm also a big fan of musical theatre. I do a lot of it, not performing it, but I'm usually behind the sound desk for it. So I love this song. It is great. It is absolutely. It's the end of Act One. It's that big finale up to the end, curtain down, off for your ice cream at the interval.
Yeah.
It's perfect. It's
Yeah.
that slightly Disney side of musical theatre, but his voice is incredible, and this song really lets it fly. Last year's song totally didn't. It was nice enough, but it didn't do his voice any justice. This properly lets his voice rip, and it's phenomenal. Whether it has that wider appeal, I'm not so sure, and that's probably its. It's great that I love musical theatre, and lots of people do, but does it have that broad spread of appeal to get the votes in? That's probably its biggest problem. But I'm so glad he's back this year, especially after all the crap he had to put up with over the false fuss about the Bulgarian flag being in the video and the personal attacks on him. Which, if we're honest, if he wasn't openly gay, he would have probably had much less of a problem with that. But there was a lot of very nasty stuff launched his direction, and he's risen above it brilliantly, with a lot of support from the fans, which is fantastic. So I'm glad he's there. I hope he does well. I really do.
It would be lovely to see him do really well. Sean, are we going to see it? I mean, let's picture the scene. You know, 10th envelope on the night.
That would be a
What do
good
you
one,
reckon?
wouldn't it? Leaving it right till the end. I think we're in for a shocker. He seems like a lovely guy. I've watched some interview footage with him, and he's got a stunningly beautiful voice. At first listen, I wasn't sure about this song. I don't know why. It just really didn't do much for me. Now, I listened to about 30-ish songs from this year's contest on a loop constantly, and this wasn't one of them until I realised that I was going to be reviewing it for this show. And so I started to give it a second chance. And I'm gutted that I missed out on listening to it more because I absolutely love it now. I think you can see it. You can hear that on the West End stage. I think he could pull off a remarkable moment in Rotterdam. I think he might do better than maybe Tamara did with Proud in 2019. And if you'd have asked me about this song a couple of weeks ago, I'd have said, nah, it's going to come bottom of the pile. But now I really, really think that it's a rather special song. He's got a phenomenal voice. Absolutely phenomenal. It sends shivers down my spine when I listen to it properly. And I wish I'd give it a more of a chance first time round. But fingers crossed it'll do well.
I'm gonna take a comment that has been in the chat room. I'm gonna go to Marios on this. Neil's put in the chat room. What was it Tom said on Friday? Most voters only hear the song once. Marios, is this going to be a song where voters hear it once and you get that big whoa moment and it springs that surprise on us all?
Well, we've seen it happen at Eurovision where we get like non-conventional Eurovision songs do great and people get to hear them only once and they do pretty well. Like Sean, I watched a couple of his interviews and he's really, really nice and easygoing. He seems like a lovely guy. The song doesn't bother me at all. He has a fantastic voice. Is it a qualifier? I'm not too sure because Australia's before him, and I'm sure Montaigne is going to give a cracking performance. I think she's got a few surprises up her sleeve, actually. But I really hope he does qualify because after 2019, they've proven to us that they can do really well if they want to. I didn't care for his song last year, but it's down to the televoting. I mean, we're fans, we listen to the songs 1,000 times, but yes, we need to consider the fact that a big portion of viewers will be listening to the song for the first time, and it depends if it makes the final, for example, at which position he will perform. If he's next to San Marino, if that qualifies, or I don't know, Cyprus or Switzerland, all this plays a major part. Good luck to him, though.
Yeah, I think he's got potential there. Now, Ness, there's a comment in the chat that says the staging needs to be epic. How do you reckon? How would you love to see this staged?
I'm
for
still
maximum
really
impact.
well. Yeah, I mean, I want to take him home to my mother, you know, and just have afternoon tea with him. He's just a darling. Staging wise, I think they are going to stage this very well. The only concern I have is with the backing vocals, you know, as Terry was saying about the kind of gospel-esque. I actually think that the backing vocals let the song down. There's so much grandeur about it with the orchestra and everything like that. I just worry that they're not going to, that, you know, that if they don't do something very special on stage, that it's going to undersell the song, as it were. I mean, his voice, I absolutely am with Terry on this, Andy, and I and Phil and Michelle, I believe that this guy can win it. I absolutely do. I haven't got as emotional about a song since, as you all know, It's Too Late for Love. So, you know, if it's striking emotion in me, I'm definitely going to put a tenner on it to win. Yeah.
And to be honest, if it does win, Ness, and you stuck £10 on it, 100 to 1's best odds. I bet you could find 150 to 1. And do you know what that means? The drinks are on you. Yay! Loving it. Gustav, come on. We know you feel really positive about these songs. You're beaming from ear to ear, and you love a ballad.
I love this song so much, and I don't know what to say because I feel that I can't follow up after Terry. So I'm just going to say that I loved everything about this song so very much, and I would love for him to do well.
Hey, thanks, Gustav. And Steve. No, he's talking. He's not realised he's still on mute.
I did press it and it didn't work. Sorry about that. As I was saying, it's another good voice. And I suspect he's got an opera background. He's got that kind of operatic kind of tone to his voice.
Yeah, he's a fully trained opera singer.
Yeah.
And he's done it professionally for a long time.
Yeah. Very different to his song last year. I loved his song last year, actually. So very different from the rest of the panel on that one. I think this could stand out or fall away, and I'm not quite sure what it's going to do. I suspect it won't get through, but that's probably because it probably doesn't appeal to such a great age range. But I think it's another one where the jury could actually prop it up, so to speak. But I'm not sure it's going to qualify, although the betting would seem to suggest it's got a fairly good chance. But he's got a fantastic voice, and it is a lovely, lovely song.
Yeah, I think it's got a reasonable chance there. And by the way, just to even things out, and it was pointed out in the chat, in Boom Bang a Bang last night, Australia also came in the bottom 5, just to make people aware of that. Stu, what's the general consensus in the chat? And also, I'm going to throw this one at you, right? Picture the scene. 6 months' time, Netflix announced a sequel to Eurovision's Story of Fire saga, and Vasil has a leading role. What do you reckon?
Oh, good for him. I won't watch it, so I couldn't care less. I hated the first film. Anyway, back to the question in hand. Vasil, are you ready for this? I think this is one of the best Eurovision songs of 2021. It's so well written. It's beautiful in every way. If there was ever a god, this should absolutely sail through its semi-final. And to think that this might miss out is a horrendous thought. It's wonderful in every way. He's wonderful. And if you hear him talk about Eurovision and about 2020 that wasn't, he's so moved by everything that happened and is so proud to be representing North Macedonia. Go Vasil. I think this could be a big jury winner, and this is so musical theatre that I'm almost expecting Andrew Lloyd Webber and Liza with a Z to pop out on stage with him. I think this is fan-bloody-tastic. # qualifier.